When I tried to write my dad's eulogy, I didn't count on the difficulties of putting my memories on paper. What abusive events I did remember from my childhood were absent. I hadn't recounted a single episode. Only the good memories appeared in the following eulogy I wrote for him. How is that possible? What can I say about my father? These are the things I remember. I remember all the meals he prepared for us. He had been a cook during his army service, and he put his training to good use in preparing our meals. He built our house from the ground up. The flooring, the walls, the insulation, the plumbing, the electricity. Dad was talented, and he worked hard at whatever he did. I had no concept back then just how hard he worked. My work ethic came from him, though, and he was a wonderful example. Most of all, I remember how he was the first one at my side when I had my seizures. He caught me before I fell down the stairs or otherwise hurt myself. He took me back to bed and tucked me in again. My seizures were one of the few times in which his gentleness surfaced. I cling to those memories because his displays of affection were so intermittent. Dad, rough on the exterior, was a sensitive soul. Sometimes sensitive people protect themselves from being hurt, and alcohol was his protection, the drug that numbed his pain. Marianne Williamson has said that ego is so invested in being right, it can only see what the parent did wrong. That is true, because for everything he did wrong, there was a lot he did that was right. One of the things he did that was right as a father was to accept me as his son, even after I revealed I was gay. While I heard of other fathers rejecting their children because of their sexuality, that was never an issue with him. So what can I say about my father except that I remember him with love and compassion now, but also with regret. I regret he wasn't able to show his love more readily and make himself vulnerable to his children. I regret he, as an adult, laying expectations on him that he couldn't possibly fulfill. Then I regret all the lost time and lost chances I washed away with my anger. I regret not being able to rise above my hurt and see him for who he was. Most of all, I regret I wasn't able to see the goodness within him until it was almost too late. Dad showed me how to be strong and persevere. As I slipped and stumbled with the events of life, I always climbed back and returned. I guess my strength was my father's gift to me. Every time I escaped responsibility for my actions by loudly proclaiming, well, I am a victim of my father's abuse, in some small measure I kept the old hatreds alive. My attachment to him perpetuated itself, and the peace that could have been mine was elusive because I wouldn't forgive him. When would I have enough? I needed to release him so that both of us would be free again. Just because my parents are no longer here, I cannot shelve the fifth commandment and say, well, this one doesn't apply anymore. I still have the opportunity and the obligation to observe it. It is who I become, here and now, that brings honor to my parents. Releasing Dad from being responsible for my actions as an adult is probably the best way I can think of to honor my father and to fulfill the commandment, you shall honor your father and mother. I love you, Dad. Rest in peace now.